Hi guys, today I'm going to create something from these three references I've picked from Pinterest. Here you can see this one, and this. The main conception will be just using some cube as a water and some kind of building or something from wooden planks up on it. So let's start from creating I think the main cube, the water cube. So let's just press S 4 and let's press S Shift Z 0 to S Shift Z 0.2. So what's wrong? No, I got a mistake. Let's press S, Z and 0.2. Okay, now let's do it again. S, Z 0.5. So I think this will be good for now. Let's just grab it up a little bit, press G, Z, and holding Control. If you're holding Control, you enabling this snapping to increment, and also if you will press on this checkbox, you will enable an absolute grip snap. So this pivot point will be snapping into this world grid. So also I will enable the screencast case add-on, so you'll see some of my keys here. Now I just want to create some of this wooden stuff, and I just want to divide this whole plane in some in two places, something like this. So in this part, now in this part, let me see from view, and something like this. So here will be just water, or maybe some kind of this part, and on this part of our picture will be the main building. So let's just create some cylinders. Also, I want to hide this cube for a while. Let's just press H or on this I button. Okay, let's create a cylinder. Also, I want this tutorial to be faster than last two, something about 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or at least an hour. Let me do it again. Add cylinder, and I want it to be about a 12 vertices. Well, it's good. So let's press S Shift Z 0.2 or S Shift Z 0.15. Okay, and let's grab it up. Let's turn on this base cube for a while, and I think it's good. This part will be underwater, and this main part will be on will be seam. Okay, let's go into top view and locate this one somewhere here. Let's press Shift D and Y and holding Control. Let's leave it somewhere here. Now I just selected this two and press Shift D, X and holding Control. Let's leave them somewhere here. So I think it's looking good, and also I want to move them. I want to move them. No, I will leave them here. So now it's pretty symmetric. And what next? I will not create a detailing on it now because I want to create a fast block, quick draft on it first of all. So let's just create a plane. So Shift A, plane, and let's grab it somewhere here maybe. Go into top view and scale it, something like this. Move it up on Y-axis a little bit, and let's go into, let's tab in to edit mode and move this edge. Now I can see, that this plane is a little bit smaller than we want it to be from the beginning. So let's move this edge somewhere here. Okay, and also I want to move this to somewhere here. Okay, so I just wanted to extrude it down a little bit. So let's press A and EZ somewhere here. Okay, so now I see that I can move it up a little bit, something like this. Okay. What's next? And so if I decided to create this picture, not this and not this, I will just concentrate on it. So I can scale down my PureRef a little bit and grab it up, so I can see my Blender interface some bigger. So what's next? Now I want to create a cube, grab it up somewhere here, and let's look at this top view, and let's leave it somewhere here. Let's move this plane, something like this, and let's move it a little bit slower, holding Shift somewhere here. So now I want to grab it down on our wooden planks, just like this, and I want to move it on Y-axis somewhere here, maybe a little bit here. Okay, also I want to move this plane somewhere here, just scale it up on Y-axis a little bit. I think now it's good. Also the next, what I'm going to do is to create some maybe I'll just duplicate this. move it here. Okay, go into edit mode and select this 4 vertices. No, maybe this 2. Press M to merge at center, and this 2 merge and center. So the next, I'm going to move these parts. Let's look at the right view. On front view, in this case. Okay, now I think it's good. And also I want to create this part. I'll just duplicate this, move it somewhere here, and let's get it down, excluding the axis, and move it somewhere here. Let's move it holding shift. So now I want to do this stuff. I want to select this plane, move it up, something like this, and let's rotate it on x-axis, X, and okay, let's first of all set origin to geometry, and now let's rotate it on x-axis on something like 20. Let's move it on y-axis somewhere here, and I wanna move this one on local y-axis somewhere here. Just press G, Y, Y to move it on local y-axis, and okay, now it looks good. Maybe I will just to move it a little bit down, and I just finished my coffee. So I think that now I should create something like this. So I just wanted to create plane, move it somewhere here, rotate it on x-axis on 90, and move it here, and let's get it down the axis, something like this, or like this, maybe a little smaller. And also I want to move this edge on g-axis. I want to move it somewhere here, little bit wider than this this object. So now I want to just select whole plane and extrude it a little bit, something like this. Okay, what's next? I wanna I'll create here a loop cut, and it's something like details now, but I wanna do it now anyway. Not waiting for next step. I just wanna create this kind of stuff, and also I wanna activate shadows a little bit, something like this, for I just can see these parts. And now I wanna duplicate it, move it on x-axis and rotate it on V to 90. Let's look from top view and locate it somewhere here, maybe. Okay, as you can see, here are some wrong stuff, so I want to move it somewhere here, and also this 4 vertices somewhere here as well. Also, this part will be unseen, so I will not do anything with it. I'll just leave it like this. So let's look from this side, this view. What's next? The next part, I'll just select this plane, Shift D, P to separate it, and just use it like a base plane for our for these 2 planks, for these 2 columns. Let's extrude it. And now I can see that this plane is not big enough. So let's move it on local y-axis somewhere here, and let's move it down a little bit. So now I can just duplicate it on x-axis somewhere here. Let's move it again. Something like this. And also I want to scale them up on x-axis. So let's change pivot point to individual origins. It's still not working. First of all, I want to set origin to geometry for this one and for this one. So now I can select them both of them, and just press SX and to scale them up a little bit. Okay, let's change the pivot point to bounding box center for now. Okay, the next part I wanna create is something like this. So let's just select this wooden column and move it somewhere here like this, and let's duplicate it somewhere here. Okay. Also, as you can see, there's one more here. So let's duplicate it, Shift D, Y. Also, I noticed a few more, one here and one here, there, and etc. So I'll create them also. For now, I just wanna move vertices a little bit down somewhere here. Also, I want to move these vertices as well. Move them down. Okay. Now I wanna just duplicate this stuff. Move it down somewhere here and move it on y-axis, something like this. Let's get it down on x-axis, something like this, and let's select these vertices and move them on y-axis, something like this. Okay, now I will just create a loop cut here, select this face and extrude it on y-axis, somewhere here, maybe here. And also I want to select these two planes and move them down just like this. So okay, now I almost done this blocking of this picture. So I want to duplicate this, move it on the axis, move it up, scale it on x-axis. Now let's scale it down on local y-axis and move it somewhere here and rotate it something like this. And now I want to rotate it a little bit more, just like this, and move it on local y-axis. I want to move this plane on local d-axis and move this plane on local y-axis, something like this, and a little bit scaled down on x-axis. Okay, so blocking took about 20 minutes, and let's keep on moving. I'm thinking about this roof. I don't want to spend much time on it, so maybe I'll make it simpler. So now let's select this edge and press Shift S and cursor to active. So we can create cube just here and move it down. Shift Z, something like this. And also I want to create somewhere here a loop cut. One more here. Let's select these vertices and scale it down. Shift S to exclude Z axis, something like this. Now I want to scale this roof on Y axis. Now duplicate this one and move it on y-axis. Let's look at it from X-ray view, something like this, and let's move the roof a little bit. So now I can see the same columns right here, so I'll just duplicate this to Shift D, X, somewhere here. Yep. And I need to select these 3 vertices and move them on x-axis somewhere here. So now it looks good. What else? I think this silhouette is pretty cool already, and I will do some stuff with this roof. I'll add a loop cut somewhere here, and I will move these vertices to here. So I can select this vertex and move it down, and I will scale these two vertices down on y-axis. Something like this. Also, I will create loopcat here, Control R, and let's move it a little bit. And let's move down this one. So as you can see, I'm just trying to copy this base form, this base shape, because I decided to make it more similar like this. So let's one more scale it up on y-axis. And also I will move this loopcat somewhere here. Okay, now it looks good. Let's scale down these two vertices a little bit more. Okay, I wanna look at these two planes. If I will press Ctrl T to triangulate it. So these faces were kind of wrong. That's why triangles created in different planes. So because of it, I will add loopcat here for this one, make it better. And now if I will triangulate them, it'll be much better. So I can select these two, look at the top view and scale them up a little bit on y-axis. So now I think the geometry is not so bad. Also I can slide this vertex and slide this. No, it's not a good idea. What else can I do? I can just select these two vertices and merge them at center. And I can delete this vertex. I mean, I can dissolve this vertex. So now, yes, finally this shape is good. Now it's a geometry correct shape. I want to move these two vertices a little bit here and move them down, scale them down. So, okay, the base shape of this roof now looks good. I can even add here a smooth shading, and to look at this, well, now it's good. Let's turn off the smooth shading. Okay, so what else? The next big part will be to create this stuff. So I can just let's select this face, press Shift S, cursor to active, or I'll better move here this cube by myself. So let's create a cube, move it here and move it here and scale it down. Something like this. Also, I want to rotate it on x-axis on 30. Well, I think 30 is too big, so let's rotate it on x-axis on 10. Yes, 10 will be enough, and let's locate it somewhere here. something like this. Maybe I can rotate it on y-axis, something like this, and scale it on x-axis. Well, now I can read this shape from the silhouette. So the next part will be about middle shapes, because now we were created a big shapes base form, and now I want to create middle shapes. But first of all, I want to duplicate this thing to somewhere here, and somewhere here, and one more somewhere here. And let's select them and select this vertex and move them up. Okay, now it looks good. Also, I want to make this one bigger, so well, it's fine. So let's continue with this plane. I'll move to local view, local mode. So now I can create these blanks like different objects, or I can just create them from this base shape by adding some loop cats, etc. So I will just duplicate it, leave it somewhere here, and activate this viewport display of this one on wireframe, and something's wrong. Now I'm trying to understand what's wrong with this one. I should just disable something in this viewport display, or maybe invisibility. No. Ah, that's it. Let's display this one as a var. So now you can see this base shape where I will just locate our planks. The first plank will be here, and I think it should be a little bit smaller on x-axis. Something like this will be good. And also I will add some sculpting on it. So let's just, well, something's wrong with it. Something wrong with this shading. Maybe it's because of this wire. Yes. So I'll add a loop cat here. Or loop cat here and here, and maybe somewhere here. So let's select this vertex, press Ctrl B, then V, Now first of all, let's press Ctrl A to apply this scale, and now I can press Ctrl B, V, and then I'll press Ctrl T to triangulate it. So this way we can create some something like this. So let's slide this vertex somewhere here, okay. And also I will select these edges and this as well. So, and then press Ctrl B to add a small bevel here, maybe a little bit more, something like this. Okay, let's select this. Edges and add a bevel here as well. And now I can just slide it here and here. Well, now it looks more natural. So let's add a bevel here, Ctrl T to triangulate it. Or I will select these three faces and delete them. So now I can join this to vertex, press F, and let's delete these two edges. So now I can press F and one more F. So I created the same damage thing here. And I want to slide this to vertex. Also, I wanna move it down a little bit, maybe, or something like this. Maybe create a bevel here and subdivide this one and this one, and let's join this to vertex, press G, J, and this two, and this two as well. So now I can select this edge and move it down and slide it here and move it down a little bit more. So now I can see this stuff. And also I want to make shadows more visible, just like this. So and I want to rotate it on the axis a little bit, just like this. So also I will pick a knife, press key, and then press D to cut through, and let's create this cut and press enter to apply it. And let's bevel it. No, let's deselect this and Ctrl B once more, mouse up to add this extra loop cut and scale it down a little bit. Well, I think now it's pretty good, and maybe slide it something like this. Also I want to slide it and it, maybe grab it up a little bit. So well, now I will just duplicate this blank and move it somewhere here. Let's keep a space between them a little bit, and I want to scale it on the axis to -1, and on y-axis I will scale it on S, also -1. Something like this. Now I want to move it here, and I want to add some stuff here. So let's just see. Press key to select knife and press Z to cut through, and let's do something like this. Well, now I can delete faces, and let's create here face, and let's fill it. Okay, well, now it looks good. And also I want to add a bevel here and here and here. So now let's press Ctrl B. Now it looks pretty good. Also, I want to select these vertices and scale them down on y-axis. And also I want to join these two vertices and these two just to create a better geometry. And also I want to add, well, I think it's good. Let's just select these 4 vertices and move them down a little bit. Okay, I've spent a lot of time on it. So let's just duplicate these 2 planks, and if you're doing it by yourself, you can add much more variations on this stuff. So let's scale down this one on y-axis, something like this. Well, and maybe scale it on y-axis on -1 in the edit mode. Okay, why I did it in edit mode? Because the origin of this object is right here, and if I will just press SY -1, it will look like this. So these other planks I will just duplicate from this one. Let's just press Shift D, or maybe from this one, Shift D X, something like this. And I'll just add a array modifier on it, and let's increase the count and change this factor -1.1 maybe. Let's take a look from the front view, and let's change it to 1.05. Okay, let's increase this count, something like this. And let's look at this front view and maybe scale it up on x-axis and move it somewhere here. Well, let's look from this view. I think from this view it will look good, and the one thing I want to do is just to apply this and add some variations. Just select this, press S-1, select this, SY-1, select this, S-1, and that's it. I think it will be enough. So now it looks great, and the next thing I would do is just to apply these planks to this part. Let's just duplicate this one, move it somewhere here, rotate it on D to 90. Move it up. Now I can delete this wireframe. Let's get it down on x-axis. Okay, and I want to do this. I want to do the same with this one. Bounce box and wireframe. That's it. So also I want to change the geometry a little bit. Move it somewhere here. Let's look from this view. S-1. I want to add here a bevel and delete these faces. Also delete these two edges. Connect these two and create a faces here and here. Well, and the same thing I want to do in this side. So let's press Ctrl B. Delete these faces and delete edges. No, it's good. Let's connect these two vertices and create here and there faces. Let's move it here. And something like this. What am I supposed to do next? I want to move it down and just slide it here and slide it here a little bit. So I think it's good, and I can just select these two and duplicate them. Okay, and let's select this SY-1. SX minus 1, and the same here as SX minus 1, just to add some variations. So I can see here rectangle. I can see here some rectangular form, some kind of cubic form. So, but I'll just do it with the same planks. I'll just duplicate it on y-axis and just maybe make it wider. SX minus 1, SY minus 1, SZ minus 1, something like this. Okay. So now I can select this 4, duplicate it here, rotate it on 090, and move it somewhere here. Select this 3, duplicate it on X. Let's delete this one and make this one larger. That's it. Also, as you can see, there are a few of planks like this one and this one are smaller than the others, so I can just select it and press S, Shift Y, because I don't want to make it smaller on y-axis, a little bit SX, grab it down, and the same with this one, maybe Shift X, SZ, and move it down somewhere here. Well, now it looks very good. There are some variations with these planks, and also I need to create this wooden stuff. I'll do it with one certain form, shape, and let's add a loop cat here, and one here, and one here. So let's select these faces and press E. Well, that's it. So I want to add boundaries, something like this, and let's select this one, press Ctrl B, add one extra edge, and press G, Z, and one more Z. Let's add here a loop cat and join these two. Select this, add here a boundary. Well, it looks a little bit weird, so I just triangulated it, and let's move it down. Also, I want to move these vertices on local y-axis and this on local y-axis as well. Something like this. Also I want to do bevel here, Ctrl B V with just one. First of all, I want to apply the scale, and now it will be better. Ctrl T to triangulate it. Slide it down and slide it here as well. The same with this loop cat. Ctrl B V, Ctrl T, and slide it a little bit. And with this one as well, let's make it bigger as on the reference, and the same. And maybe I will just slide it here and do it like this. I think it will be enough. Maybe bevel here and bevel here, something like this. Well, it looks pretty good. I think this tutorial will took about 2 hours instead of 1 hour. So let's continue. As you can see here, this kind of an arc. I can just add a cylinder, make it maybe with 16 vertices, rotate it on x-axis and locate it somewhere here. I'll just do a simple Boolean operation here. Let's move it on the center of this thing, something like this, and let's press Ctrl- and hide this thing. So it's good. Also, I wanna make it larger, so let's just move this part along y-axis and leave this part just like it was. Don't make any changes because this will be unseen from the camera view. So now it looks good. Also I will add planks here. So I will just move it on local y-axis, move it a little bit on local z-axis, add here some damage, just the same as we did with previous planks. I think something like this will be enough. So let's just duplicate it in edit mode. Maybe scale it on x-axis on -1. Once more, duplicate the whole stuff. GYY and maybe do it one more time. Shift D, Y twice. Well, I think it's good enough. Well, as you can see, the picture now is pretty good, and you can see this wooden texture, and you definitely can say that these are all of these objects are wooden planks. So I just wanted to join this, and I'll add more detailization here, or maybe with the roof. First of all, let's add here a loop cut and loop cut here and one more here. So now I can select this and this. And first of all, by the way, I want to select this part and create a boundary here as well, just like this. So now I can just select these faces, this, and just press Alt E, extrude along normals, and create this stuff. And also I was gonna select this part as well before doing it. By the way, as you can see, there are a few faces down there, and I don't need these faces, so I can just select them and delete. Let's move into local view for a while and let's delete the faces. So now I can select this, look at this, and now it's good. Let's deselect this face and let's try it again. Alt E, extrude along normals, maybe S. Well, maybe I can try the subdivision surface here on a level 2 maybe. And I need to add bevel here. Let's grab it up. And now I need to change this width of the type to this limit method to weight. And let's press N. Let's go into edit mode, and here you can see this extra edges data. Let's press Ctrl plus and change this to 1. As you can see, now it looks more sharp, and I can change this amount to something like 0.1. Let's apply the scale, or even less, 0.01 or 0.05, 0.03. Well, now it's good. And now I need to deselect these faces, and I mean not faces, just edges. I just selected these edges, and let's change their weight to 0. Something goes wrong. Let me understand what's the problem. Maybe I should also select these edges. And now let's set it to 0. But in this case, you can see a very bad geometry. We don't need it. So maybe I should try just like this, and this too. Well, now it looks good. And also maybe this. And this too. Let's try it. Now it also works wrong. So how can I make it better? Maybe this too as well. No. Nope. Let's leave this part as it is and change this part. Now I need to deselect this one, or there's something wrong. That's the hardest part, to fix all the bevels using subdivision modifier. Maybe I should change this count to 1 or 2. Let's turn on the shade smooth. Or maybe I can change this amount to 0.2. Well, I will leave it like this for now. I will just select this face and scale it on y-axis a little bit and rotate it on y-axis as well. Let's extrude it. Let's take a look at the whole picture. Well, it looks good. Let's scale it once more. Move this edge a bit up, something like this, and I want to change this bevel weight to 0 and maybe this too. Well, now it looks good. But there are some troubles with geometry. Maybe I should try to bevel this. Or this. No, it looks wrong. Maybe this. No, I don't need it. So let's leave it like this for now and move it on G-axis and scale it up once more, rotate it on Y-axis and move it up. Something like this. I'm just trying some things. No, I don't need it. So what next? Let me add some, what's this? Let me add some details here. So let's just add a loop cut here and a loop cut here and bevel them. Just like this. And then select these faces. Also, I need to scale it down by y-axis and move it a little bit. And rotate it on x-axis as well. Let it be something like this. Okay. So let's select these faces once more. And extrude it along normals. and even thickness. Okay. Also, I will extrude this, and then I'll press E and S to scale it up and scale it down by Y-axis. Maybe extrude it a little bit. Let's add two bevels here, scale them on local X-axis, and once again extrude them. Well, it looks weird just because I've made some changes in a local view. Let's take a look if it's good now. I think yes. So let's rotate it in object mode, not in edit mode. So by the way, I made this these rotations earlier, so that was my mistake. Let's try it again. Let's apply the scale and try it again. Okay. Even thickness. That's it. And now I'll just Control plus here and separate selection. Okay. Now I can scale it up, scale it down on local X-axis. One more, scale it up. Something like this. And now I can extrude it. Like this. And also I want to add loop cut here and loop cut here, so I can join these two objects and move it on. Let's activate the proportional editing here. So press GZZ, something like this, and add something like this. I think it looks very good. So let's leave it for now. Or maybe I can add an insert here, subdivide it once more, and select all of these vertices, delete them, and let's select this kind of loop cut. And next thing I'm gonna do to go to loop tools and press circle. To find the loop tools add-on, you can go to your add-ons, find here loop tools. That's it. The second way to do this will be just go to instrument, what this, I think that's it. No, it's not. To sphere, that's it. So by this instrument, by this tool, you can create a sphere, but it will be not as good as if you do it with loop tools, because this is larger than this. This is larger than this, and you know it's not a good. So let's select this loop cut once more and press loop tools and circle. So that's a perfect circle. So this is a better way than using booleans, as I think. and let's just extrude it on local y-axis somewhere here. Add a loop cut here, and I just did it to maybe add a different materials for this one and this one. So let's leave it like this for now. It already looks good. I want to do this part of the picture, and now I can see that there are some troubles with my scale of the whole object. So I need to, maybe I should try just move it somewhere here and move it somewhere here and just move it like this. And also let's move it here and move this. Now the scale is look more like the scale from the reference. Maybe I should try this proportional editing. Now it was better like this. So now also I wanted to scale up this 4 objects in object mod. Turn on this individual origins, something like this. So now it looks better. And now I can just duplicate this somewhere here and scale it up just like this, and maybe even more on the axis. And what else? I can duplicate it somewhere here, just like this. Or not. No, I want it to be situated somewhere here. Something like this will be good. Also, while I'm doing something with this column, with this box, I can just duplicate it and rotate it on y-axis on 90 degrees. Move it a little bit down, somewhere here, just to create this stuff. Something like this, and this one should be above another. Okay, let's duplicate it somewhere here. Well, it's perfect match. Okay, now let's duplicate it somewhere. Shift Z somewhere here and rotate it on V to 90, and let's place this somewhere here. And I need to move it on x-axis just like this. Well, it's good. So we keep on going with this middle shapes. So I'm thinking about this window. So I will just duplicate this one and move it on y-axis rotate it on the same axis on 90. And just need to pose it, scale it on V, move it here, and scale it on Y a little bit, scale it down. Shift D, and let's go into geometry, and that's it. Let's move it here a little bit, and let's move this one. And I wanna scale them down a little bit more, just like this. Duplicate it, locate it somewhere here. Let's set origin to geometry. Scale it down, and let's move this edge somewhere here to create this kind of stuff. I will add two loop cats and this, and delete faces, and let's just fill them. Oh, it's good. And let's select central one and scale it a little bit on the axis. Well, it looks good. It looks good, so I can add a boolean. So I'll just select this. Let's select this face, and move 3D cursor here, Shift S, and cursor to active, so I can create cube here, scale it down, extrude the top face, extrude it, select these two edges, these two vertices, press M and merge at center, and the same here, M, merge at center. Move it down a little bit and select these two edges, move pivot point to bounding, box center, and scale it on Y-axis. Scale it up on Y-axis once more, select down face and scale it up on Y-axis. Let's move it up a little bit, so that's good. Now I can now I want to duplicate it, move it somewhere here, and just select these two and press Ctrl-. Now let's scale it down a little bit on Y-axis. Let's hide this wireframe and let's move it somewhere here. I need to make it the same scale, something like this. And what am I supposed to do with this is, first of all, I need to delete these vertices and move this a little bit here, add a loop cut here, join these two, add a few more loop cuts here, maybe 2, and a few more here, subdivide these two, join this and join this. So maybe I can just bevel all of this stuff just like this. But first of all, I will just duplicate it, leave it here, and hide in viewport first of all. So now I can bevel all of this stuff. Extrude it. No, first of all I need to delete all of these extra faces that I don't need to use. Delete faces, okay. And now I can extrude it, finally. Something like this. And let's show this cube. And in this cube, we can delete these vertices and press ES, create something like this, and now we can extrude it. Well, the window is done. I think it's pretty good. What's next? The next, I will create this door and these stairs. So I will just select this edge, press Shift S, cursor to active, and add a, let's add a cube. So let's scale it down. So let's get it up, move it here, scale it down the axis, move it somewhere here, something like this. And let's just add a loop cut here, extrude this. And maybe once more. It's not so correct, but I think it's what I need. So maybe I should make a door from the same object. I just added a loop cut here. Now I will select this face, extrude it a little bit, and then I will duplicate this face, place it somewhere here, and extrude it a little bit. So this part of door is over, and now I can select this, add some loop cuts, something like this, add here a loop cut too, move it somewhere here, and now I can select these faces, all of these faces, extrude them up, Control plus, and I want to separate selection. And the next part, I don't like this stuff, so I will just delete it and extrude it once more. So what can I do now? I think I will just select all of these loop cuts, Control B, and delete faces. So I can just fill all of these holes, and these planks will be done. Well, now the door is over. And what is next? I think I'll make some things with these columns. So I added loop cut here, and I want to scale it up and move it down a little bit. The same here, a loop cat, and scale it up. And maybe move it down. So let's do the same here. Individual origins, scale, and move it down a little bit. Also, I'll select all of them and just bevel it a little bit so it looks great. So I need to do the same here. That's it. What else? I need to add some distractions on them. So let's Control B, Control T, or not. Maybe just so what can I do here? I can subdivide this one and subdivide this one. Select these two, join, and these two, join as well. So now I can just move it on some axis, on Y. And maybe make it larger. Something like this. Now here I want to select these two, this face, and maybe I should delete this face. Create faces with another way. And now I can select this face and grab it. Or add here some cats. Now I can delete this face and this as well. And create here a triangle. And the same here, and just fill this hole, and let's just move it down, something like this. Well, it looks a little bit weird. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So also, I need some bevels here. No. Maybe here. And let's triangulate this one and subdivide this and join it and this. Create something like this. Well, it's good. This one I will leave just like this, or maybe I can select these two edges and the same two in opposite side, and then press SY in bounding box center mode. Something like this, or maybe just select these two faces and move them on Y. Now it looks good. So I've spent too much time on it, so maybe I shouldn't add any more details and leave it like this. Maybe I should add details with this one as well. the last two things with details. Select these two loop cuts, move them down, Control B and Alt E and extrude along faces and S to activate event thickness. Well, these columns look pretty good. What else can I do here? Maybe I should add this part to add more stuff here, or I should just add a diamond. I love to add some diamonds in my scenes. And maybe it will be something like my something special in my tutorials. Let's just leave it like somewhere here. And let's get it down a little bit and move it down once more. Well, now it's good. So maybe I should add a few more woods. Something like this stuff. Let's look from the top view and rotate it like this, Shift D and move it here. And one more here. Now we won't see it at all, so I just don't need it. But I should make it a little bit smaller. Shift Z and once more Z. And I can duplicate it and rotate on Y-axis and a little bit up. Or just like this. Well, I like it. So the next parts of this scene will be, I don't need this anymore, so I can just dissolve these edges. And now I can subdivide this top side and maybe down side. Now I can just add a subdivision surface in a simple mode, something like 4 divisions or 5, and add a displays. Where is this? Oh, that's it. And create new texture. Go to the texture mode and let's change it to to clouds, increase the side, and let's go to these settings, reduce the strengths a little bit, and here I can find this properties. Where was this? That's it. Direction. I can change it to the, and just to displace it on the axis, so I can increase the strength of it. There are some problems here. I don't know why. And also I can select this this face, then go to these settings and add a vertex group. So next go to settings of this displays and change a vertex group to our new group. There are some troubles here. Maybe I should add this. So now let's delete this vertex group, and I'm trying to think how can I fix it. Now let's reduce the strength first of all, and change the size to something like this. Change shade, activate shade smooth. After smooth, change it to something like 40 or 45, maybe 60. Okay, and let's change some settings of the texture once more. I think this will be enough. So now I can just apply subdivision surface and displays, and now I want to just select this and then press Control Shift and select this. Then I'm going to press S and Z and 0 to well, now it's good, but I should better select the same this, just then press Ctrl I and then delete all other faces. And now I can just select this and this and this and extrude it down. Then press ST0, move it up a little bit. There are some troubles with shading, so maybe I should change it to 15 or 45, 30, 35, 36. So let's leave it like this for now, because maybe it will be good. And now I want to move in a shading mode. And let's start shading this picture. Let's make it wider, move it here, and change settings to viewport render. Turn on the ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space reflections. And let's create our let's create our light, maybe area white, press GZ8 and rotate it on y-axis to 90, but change the pivot point to 3D cursor and ry90 minus or ry45 minus, that's it. And then press GZZ, move it somewhere here. Then then let's change its power of it to something like 200 or 500, and let's Shift D, RZ 90. And let's change it to something like 1000 maybe, or like this. And let's duplicate it once more, RZ and 180. And let's increase it to something like 2000. And rotate it once more, RZ45. Something like this. Maybe increase the power to 3000. So now I want to change the color management, change exposure to 1 and change look to high contrast or very high contrast. I think high will be enough for now. And now I can change the lamps once more, 500, 350. And now that's it. Looks great. And now I can turn off the world settings or maybe change it to something like 0.25 and some blue-green color. Something like this. And then I want to add a camera, so let's press Shift A, camera, and then press Alt G, Alt R, or not, I don't actually need it. So now I can press Alt, Shift and 0, or Alt Control 0 to locate the camera, to snap camera view to our to move camera for this local view. Now I can change resolution settings to something like this, and that's almost a square, but a little bit different. But I want to locate a camera with another way, so let's move it up to something like 10, then rotate it on X to 45 and rotate it on Z to 45. Press GZZ once more, then R X twice and move it somewhere here. Well, now it's almost perfect. So maybe I should change these lights and locate it to camera. Let's press RZ45 and increase it to 500 once more, or 400. So let's leave it like this for now. And I want to create a shader for this, for the water. So let's delete this BSDF and create a mix shader. Then create maybe glass shader and one transparent BSDF. So let's connect them to shaders, and also I want to change this blend mode to alpha blend and this shadow mode to alpha hashed. Well, that's it. Also, I want to add, I want to select these 4 vertices, Shift D and P to separate them. Now I can select them and just press F to create the plane. And let's change the material of it. Let's delete this one, create new, and let's get settings to it, create some kind of sand color. Let's decrease the saturation to something like this. Okay, for now, and I want to change this shader. Maybe I'll even add a volume shader here. Principal volume maybe. And let's take a look on this. 0.1. And let's make a few settings here. I've add a principal BSDF and try to do something. Try to do it with another way. Let's edit transmission to 0.5. That's it. So I don't need all of these shaders. I'll create our water with a principal BSDF. So let's change alpha to 0.4 and transmission to something like 0.5. Now let's decrease roughness. Maybe play with base color to make it like a tune water. Maybe change alpha to something like this, and transmission to something like this. Maybe make it darker. And I want to change this, or maybe even delete it. Yep. Now it looks much better without this plane under it. well, now water looks perfect. So now I can select this wood, create a material, make it something like this color. Maybe more orange. Now I can play with roughness. So if I need this tune like wood, I can leave it like this, maybe even decrease the saturation and change the hue a little bit somewhere here. Let's leave it like this for now, and let's select all of these blanks. And this two and this one. And once again select this and press Ctrl L to apply materials. So now I can play again with all this stuff. Maybe something like this. It looks very friendly. Maybe add a subsurface a little bit, something like 0.1 with some orange color, and maybe change this one. So with this subsurface scattering, it looks more cartoon, more like cartoon or something like this. But I need to decrease it a little bit. And play with volume. No, I don't need the subsurface in this one. Let's leave it like this for now. And also I need to add a gradient texture, and where is it? Something like this, and like this, and like this. Let's try this one. Here, as you can see, there is some gradient, and I need to be not so. And I will just press Ctrl T if your node wrangler is activated. Here it is, node wrangler, and if it's activated, you can just select the node you need and press Ctrl T to see these settings. So now I can rotate it, and I'm trying. Let's just press Ctrl Shift and left click, and let's take a look how the way I need to rotate it to see the thing I need. I think this, here it is. So now I can press Ctrl Shift and left click on this one, and I can take a look. Let's make this one darker. And as you can see, there is a beautiful gradient here. So maybe I need to do this darker or even lighter to create such a strange effect. Something like this. And let's change this to B-spline. Maybe make it this. By the way, I need this be darker. I've decided. Or maybe I can even change the color of it, maybe something like blue, and change this to ease maybe, or linear, and let's move it around. Let's make it lighter, and no, I don't like it. So let's just make it a little bit darker. Something like this. Okay, now I maybe should play with roughness. Well, and also I want to create this mix RGB and duplicate this one here and add a input, something like, where was it, object info and random here. I'm trying to create some stuff, something like this. Yes. I should make it lighter a little bit and maybe something like this, but more saturated. Something like this. And maybe this one should be there are some troubles with lighting, and also I want to select this and press P, separate by loose parts. So that's it. Now you can see different types of wood here. So what's next? This one I want to be want to change this one to something like something like this. And this one to something like this, maybe. Also, I wanted this light to be brighter, maybe 500 will be enough. Or even 1000. No, it's too much, maybe 700 or maybe I can even increase the exposure to something like 1.2. Well, that's cool. The next part, I need to select these objects and first of all, I want to select one, change its material, and press on this button just to create for this one a special new material. Let's call it new. Okay, and now I can select all of these objects. And this and these two. And now let's press select this one and press Ctrl L materials. So now I can change their materials. Something like this, maybe. This should be darker from the bottom side, and top side should be a little bit different. That's it. And let's change this one also. Something like this and something like this. Let's rotate it on this one on y-axis so it have a little bit a gradient on it, something like this. Well, let's apply the same material for this one or this material. Also, I want to change this one. Let's call it new 01. I have much time to call them a good names. So let's create this material a little bit different way. Something like this. And this part should be lighter, maybe. And I find that there are some problems because maybe I should apply its rotation. Well, cool. And its rotation as well, and this rotation, and this one's. So now I can do this, and this material now looks pretty good. Now I can just select, create some loop cut here, and then deselect this top part and this vertices as well. So I've selected just this front part, deselect this, and I can create bevels here and just extrude them inside. Let's select them. So it will be a much more easiest way to create blanks here. Let's just insert them somewhere here, and maybe I should go to individual origins and scale both of them, all of them down. But it don't works in this regime, so I don't mind. I think it looks good anyway. Let's apply this same material for this and Ctrl L once more, and this one I should also separate by loose parts and apply this material. Ctrl L, materials. So the same for this 3 and this as well. Let it be. Ctrl L, materials, and let's apply their rotations. Ctrl A, rotation, and there maybe as well. Rotation. But it still goes wrong, I think. Let's take a look. No, it's good. Maybe I should move it. Move it somewhere here. Also, for this one, I should select this material because it's definitely lighter, and also I want to select this part, Ctrl plus, and assign a new material for this one. Let's press on this plus button, create new material, and assign. I can select here some dark color, something like this, and also I need to decrease roughness. And apply the same material here. Let's select it and assign. And the same here. Ctrl plus, plus, and assign. And okay, for this I'll do the same. Plus and select it and assign. So now let's take a look at the picture. It looks great, and what can I do? Maybe add a refraction and maybe increase the exposure 1.5, 1.35. Well, yep. Maybe I should change the alpha for this water. Decrease it a little bit. Or just let's leave it to 0.75, and let's increase transmission to 0.3. And also maybe let's make this color brighter, or I love it. Maybe I should play with this world color. Something like, maybe something very dark. Something like this. And also let's select this, select this same material here, or this, okay, and darker one for this 3, this one, Ctrl L, materials, okay, Let us select these two and this material, Control L, apply materials and apply rotation as well. And this one to this and materials, and let's press P to select. That's it. Also, let's select these parts and give them this material. This one for this. And what's wrong with the door? Oh no, it's perfect. And maybe this one for the door. Control apply rotation. Or maybe the same dark material. Just make it a little bit like this. But also I want to separate these blanks. P, what's wrong? By loose parts. And let's change the pivot point to individual origins and scale them down. Well, it's not working, something is wrong. Let's do it again. SX. Individual origins are turned on. That's it. I should set origin to geometry to create a new origins for all of this stuff. So let's take a look. Now it looks a little bit better. Maybe scale them down once more. Okay, and I want this material be a little bit darker, like this. Well, it's pretty cool. And maybe this one should be less saturated, something like this. Wow, it's cool. I love it. Maybe a bit more. Okay. And let's select this shape and apply this material. Now, I should select these faces and give them another material. Let's press plus and new and assign. And let's create some blue, some sea blue. Maybe I should pick it. Well, that's all right. Let's increase roughness a little bit and maybe specularity. And I don't want to decrease saturation to something like this. Okay, let's leave it like this for now. But also I want to see how bevel applies here and what the hell is wrong with this geometry. Because I still can't understand it, maybe. I get it. I think I get it. I think there are some extra vertices, so I need to merge them and change this merge distance to something like this, or maybe even this. No. Maybe I should decrease it to you know what, I'll just separate these shapes from others. Just let's select them all and press P, selection. Finally, I've done it. Now I can go to local mode of this one and just connect them like this and like this. And let's take a look what was happened. Perfect. I love it. Finally. And now I can just apply here this material maybe, and Control R rotation, and here Control R rotation, and maybe I should add some loop cuts. And bevel M and extrude along normals inside, something like this. And I want this material to be a little bit lighter, maybe this one. Well, it's perfect match. So let's add a material for this window. Let's make it dark and metallic, something like this. And I need to select, I need to apply boolean, okay. And now I need to select these two faces, go into this texture mode and assign the new material for this. Perfect. What else? I can create a material for this diamond, so I will just add a mix shader. Or maybe I should leave this principal BSDF and play with these alphas and transmissions. And also let's check this alpha hashed and alpha blend. So I'll use a mix shader instead of it. Let's add a glass shader here and a transparent shader. No. Yes, transparent shader. Okay, so let's change this color to something green and change a factor like this. Maybe rotate it, something like this. And let's press Shift D, S, and inside one I need to be with emission. Let's add the emission and add it instead of glass like this, and change the color to something like this. And let's play with this strange. So I think that there are some troubles with maybe with this. It looks weird, as I think. Something is wrong with it. Maybe this light is not good. So I need to rotate it. Maybe like this. And let's increase it to maybe 700. That's it. I forget to save a previous shader setting before create a new one. So let's delete emission and add a glass shader. That's it. Something like this. Or maybe I just should Shift S cursor to active and add a point light inside of it. Change the radius however you want and turn off the specular, or maybe don't. Maybe set it to something like this. But here let's increase this specularity. How can I do it? I'm trying to find the most simple way to do it without thinking too much, but it's still still keep going. Maybe I should change this color also, or not. Maybe I should paste it somewhere here. And also I want to maybe I should decrease the exposure or increase it. Well, it looks pretty good, but I think there's something wrong with this specularity. Maybe I should decrease it a little bit or change roughness. Now very high contrast looks better. And also I wanna, where is it? Oh, well, that's it. I want to copy that, go to this shader, paste it here, and create a different way of this stuff. I want to make something something like this. Let's press Ctrl A, rotation, and let's take a look. Let's make it darker. And let's decrease the saturation of it, or increase. And change the hue to something blue. Well, it looks better. This one is missing, so I need to apply this material and this one as well. So maybe I should try different colors like this. No, I think it was better. But I think this gem here is not necessary. But maybe I can play with this light and make something with it. This must be something, some cold lights. Trying to find the way how can I add an extra light somewhere and make it and do it good. Maybe it's necessary actually. Maybe I need a above light, below light somewhere here, and let's increase this light. let's decrease the saturation, and instead of it I want to add a plane. Let's press Shift S, cursor to world origin, plane, and scale it up. And then rotate it on V to 45 and scale it once more. Press Shift, press GY twice, and then extrude this one and bevel this. Something like this. Let's apply the shade smooth. Maybe move it. Maybe move it somewhere here. And let's change its material. Something dark, maybe. And let's decrease its specularity to something like this, and maybe increase its roughness. And also maybe I should apply proportional editing and make some wave here. SZ0. And there's something wrong with this orange color. Let's decrease this a little bit. And this violet color needs to be darker to make contrast. And this must be darker also. Well, now it looks pretty cool. Also, I wanna select this roof. Go to texture mode and select our dark texture and apply on the roof. Well, it looks better. And I don't like this. I don't like this dark color. Maybe I should change it on something like this. Well, and this one as well. I think it looks good, and now I'm thinking about this water and what can I do with it. Maybe decrease this alpha to 0.4 or 0.45. Now it looks better. Also, I think I can add something different to this picture if I'll add this green circles on the water, and also I'm thinking about this roof. I can add some loop cuts here, or add loop cuts like this, and that's good. And I think now I can select this faces, and these faces as well. Now I can go to edge mode and deselect these edges. Now I can try to bevel it with only one segment. That's it. And maybe I should try it to extrude it inside. There are some problems because we have an subdivision surface here, so I should think about it once more. Extrude it. No, that's weird. So maybe I should apply this subdivision surface and all the bevels before and now. Now it's very weird. Maybe I should just delete this subdivision surface. It looks good still, so I can just I need to deselect this and this and this. There's so much to deselect. So in the beginning of this tutorial, I thought about that it will be a very quick tutorial, but I think now I'm doing it more than 3 hours or even 4 hours. So I hope it will be very useful for you. So now I can try this once more, extrude long faces and sides. And let's change this of the smooth cut. I think it looks better, much better. Now I can select this and just add a bevel here. Well, it's pretty good. Maybe here as well. And I will not even need a subdivision surface. And here, let's select it. Well, it looks very, very good. And so I think this dark one should be lighter, and this light one should be less saturated and a little bit lighter. So let's take a look at these regimes once more. No. Maybe medium contrast. Or medium high contrast. maybe just high. Something like this. Well, about this green stuff, I remembered about it, so I can add it. So let's select this, shift this cursor to active and add a circle, scale it down. Now, let's do it again. Add a circle, change it to 20. Now I can scale it down. Press F or press faces, grid fill. Okay. Create new material, something green. Something dark green a little bit. Now let's take a look at this. I should take it up a little bit. And also I can select these 4 vertices and scale them. Maybe turn on the proportional editing and scale this down, or this. Something like this. Okay, let's decrease the roughness. Increase the specular. And it's still a little bit weird. It needs some light to reflect it. So let's change here, snapping to faces, and let's press Shift D, Control, and scale it down. Shift D, Control. Something like this. Maybe I should add a white lamp somewhere here. Where is it? Somewhere here. And make it very, very specular, maybe 10 or 100. Move it down. Move it somewhere here. Let's increase the specularity here. And maybe alpha or transmission. Okay, let's leave it like this. So finally, this shader is not as good as I wanted to, but I'm tired to change these parameters. To something like this. Now we'll leave it like this. So okay. Maybe I should increase the bloom. No, I will leave it like it was, and I'll make a render and a little bit of compositing. Okay, now it's done. So let's go to let's do it again. Okay, let's save it. Okay, and let's go to compositing, use nodes, and I want to change this one to let's change input to image, connect image to composite, open this image, and let's add output viewer image to image. That's it. Also I need to, let's close it. Also I need to turn off this parameters because I don't need any changes on my render. So let's select this one. Something like this, okay. And let's scale down this viewer. Let's move it somewhere here. And this to maybe 1.5. Filmic log. Or let's leave it with this RGB maybe. A filmic log here and very high contrast maybe. How it was looking. Let's take a look at this. Where is it? Oh, now it looks almost the same. So let's add a glare, Let's connect it here and change it to ghosts. Let's make it high and iterations maybe 5. And change mix to minus 0.95. And maybe color modulation change to 1 or to 0.75. Change iterations to maybe 4. And mix minus 98. Well, it's cool. So let's let's say distortion. The one I like is lens distortion. Connect it here and add a dispersion to minus 0.15. And add a jitter. Nothing changes. 0.15 or 0.1. That's cool. And I need to change exposure maybe to 1.6. Okay, and maybe change the sort to minus 0.1 or minus 0.05. Okay, and what else can I do is to maybe add some exposure. That's it. Finally, I'm saving project and making render. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next tutorials. Goodbye.